25 seconds because it takes forever for it to start, right?
I think so.
Let's get into it. 1, 2, 3. Let's get some more. Have it in. Get some more. Just get some more.
Why, hello, and welcome to My Whiskey Den, your favorite public access whiskey review show where craft whiskey is king. Thank you very much for stopping in this evening. I'm here tonight with my co-host, Mike. How are you doing this evening?
How are you now?
Am I leggy or is it Cuddy?
Dude, Letterkenny.
Oh, sorry. We were just having that issue like 2 seconds before the show started. I just thought everything went to crap right away.
How are you now? Good, you? Not so bad.
Thank you everyone in the chat for stopping out here tonight. We do have a few whiskeys to suck down this evening. None of them, sadly, from Canada, though. I mean, I guess maybe we should have thought that one out, but the list of good quality Canadian whiskeys you can receive in America is very few. Very
few. So it's not even worth it.
Yeah, it's not worth it. Yeah. You have to find someone to travel across a border and maybe put themselves at risk to do something like that. So I don't know. The borders are open. Maybe that can happen more freely now. But yeah, a little squirrely right now. Sorry, I'm feeling a little squirrely.
Squirrely Dan, Squirrely Pat,
Squirrely Dandelion. We got some Stolen Wolf, some Tin Cup, and some Traverse City Barrel Proof. Mike was thinking, and probably rightfully so, maybe we should go in ascending order of ABV. What does the chat think we should do with that? Oh, hey. What's going on in the chat anyways?
We have royalty. We have a chef.
Oh yeah.
We have a Hoovian with that owns a Bessie. We've got a grandmama who's about ready to get a newer and better job.
That's right.
And we got Dave. Dave's here.
It's good to see
you.
And
Spencer, sorry, I got nothing for you, Spence.
What the fuck?
I never get phone calls,
dude. That was
at night.
It's the bat line. We'll have to see about that.
I don't know who it is, and they're going straight to voicemail.
Oh, straight to voicemail. All right. As you can tell, looks like Renita's got some cold weather going on there. I'm downstairs tonight. I am not out on the porch in like 4-degree weather. I've decided to stay inside where all the bottles be a little bit warmer. I poured a healthy pour of some Stolen Wolf right now. Well, let's start with that one, Mike.
Okay. Yeah, that was Spence.
What?
Normally I'm kind of out of sorts because normally I do have everything muted and everything else. Anyway.
I love it. All right. Well, Stolen Wolf is a blended whiskey or a blend of American straight whiskeys. They take 80% of a straight bourbon whiskey that's 4 years old and 20% of a straight rye whiskey that's 4 years old. They're trying to replicate some of the Pennsylvania kind of history, kind of flavor profile with. Stolen Wolf, much bigger story here and background with things that we'll hopefully have them on. But Dick Stoll, obviously, a lot of you do know about his contributions to the whiskey world, but Mr. Wolf kind of was the real understudy to him in his later years and is trying to kind of take the legacy further down the road. So it's a really neat story, but I don't want to get into it too much because we hope to have him on at one point and talk about it live. Plus, we get into sipping some whiskey. Oh, and this one is batch 28, bottle number 59, lands at 43% alcohol, and was donated by our good friend Kevin Rose.
Huh?
Yeah.
A benefactor.
A benefactor. Well, and it was one of those neat things. If you've ever stayed at Bushwood Estates and you have the pleasure to stay there, I think it was in the gift basket. I think
they don't put mints on the pillow. They
no
put
mints
mini
on
bottles.
the pillow. I think it was part of the gift basket.
You must have been in the executive suite.
Well, it was. It's in the lower level. It's got a walkout.
Oh yeah, you had the veranda.
All right, here we'll get back to the. Okay.
Okay, my first notes. I'll tell you right off the bat because
Yep.
it's changed a little, but not much. But the first notes I got caramel, banana shake, pepper, and rye.
It's the pepper I'm trying to figure out because for me, it's not like a black pepper. Give me a second. It's almost like I don't know, like a little Szechuan pepper. Like it's got a little neat heat to it, and it's not standard for me. But everything else you said is there. Nothing's like spiky coming out of it.
No, it's not. It's not. Well, as we have had blends before where they take jumps. This doesn't do that.
No. It's not as aggressive as you would think. Especially, I guess the only 20% rye, but I mean, we do know some ryes, and there are some ryes that can really play effectively even at a lower percentage of the blend. So I think on the nose that adds just a nice little bit of baking. I'm gonna call it like a little light sassafras, and I don't want to call it like dry hay, but it's like.
Yeah, I could get that.
It's like a little bit of an earthy, not quite dusty note, but I'm getting the sassafras, which is neat. Excuse me. Sorry, everyone. My apologies. I think I have this backwards even. There we go.
You should have a sip. It'll clear up your cough.
Caramel rolls in the baking spice, a little bit of molasses. Hitch of the root beer, more on the finish for me. Nothing kind of medium, low level intensity for me on the first go around. Give me a second here, I'll get back in it. There's a little bit on the front of my tongue that I get more like a sugar water, and it's not as viscousy for a second, but when you're switching it around, it has more than what you would think for the flavors as far as like oiliness.
Yeah, so you mentioned that the sugar water, and one of the things that I was putting down there was just kind of like this little hint. It was like, is this a simple syrup? No, it's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a nice viscosity to it.
Mm-hmm. I think that's what I like playing with, a lot of it in my mouth. But yeah, kind of light, medium caramel, nothing too heavy, light baking. It's a really nice. I wouldn't call it an entry whiskey because the finish is where I think the rye and a little bit more of the barrel note starts to take over here. Like after waiting like 20 seconds, the way I'm talking, I'm getting a little bit more of that to kind of take over. But it's
the finish takes a while. It's very subdued.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's the part I think I was gonna say, like entry whiskey for a lot of people. This would be one that you could hand a lot of people, and I think they would find it pleasant, or add an ice cube and not even notice, what's going on. But if you're someone who's paid more attention to things, the finish in particular is a little more nuanced and pretty neat here. It's a neat blend.
Yeah.
Because it's not trying to be like boom, like this crazy
Yeah.
thing. I think it's going for more like what I want to say a classic blend. I haven't had enough Pennsylvania rye or classic Pennsylvania rye to, you know, be properly versed. But it has an interesting flavor to it. Oh, hey everyone. Nice to see you, Emily, as well, too. Ooh. A little more drying than what I would think it on the finish.
I would agree with that. But it kind of creeps up.
Mm-hmm.
It's just because it's the finish is it's subdued, it's subtle, it's there, and then it just slowly dries.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, you know what? This is the Ultimate Spirits Challenge. They did get a 93 points on this. What?
Well, that would be a fun show, but then it would also, to do a sister show with that, would be Pennsylvania rye, Maryland rye, and Kentucky rye. That's all made at MGP. Do one from distilleries. You can throw in one from Tennessee also, that all have their rye, but it's really MGP. Anyway,
I'd even go further. It would be neat to have well, we were working on stuff like that with corn and maybe a couple other shows where rye and things like that could be deeper explored than just the 3, maybe 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, the finish on this is the neatest thing for me. I like the finish on this.
Now, having had this one, I think I'm just going to take a stab. I'm gonna guess of these others, because I've not had Tin Cup Rye and I've not had this Traverse City. That it was probably a good choice to have this one first, not because of the proof, but because of what's going on with it and the finish and everything. It is. I think it would get lost later in the mix.
Well, especially like that front half where it's not as heavy with the caramel. Like you said, it's a little more subtle before it gets to that point. Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
All right. Ooh, sorry, everyone. Just moving a bit here. Got to get another glass.
Just moving and shaking.
Moving and shaking. On to number 2. Little Tin Cup straight rye.
Sorry, I was just checking my voice message.
Yeah.
They actually left a message.
Oh, yeah.
It's somebody I do want to talk to. So there you go.
Do you need to take a break from the show? Do I have to do
no
by myself?
No, actually, it's a reminder for my eye appointment.
Oh, well,
that is 3 years overdue. Almost 3 years overdue, but yeah.
You need new glasses, and they won't let you get them without it or something.
No, I do. That's the problem. But because of insurance and how awesome it is, even though you're supposed to get your eyes checked every year, they're not going to cover anything every year. They'll only cover it every other year if you're lucky. So I skipped a year. So anyway,
that is fair.
It's more to be fair. To be fair. So, okay, I know you and I have talked about Letterkenny a little bit. Are you like all caught up on it?
No, I'm not. I do not have the Hulu, but I have watched episodes and other things. So no, I am not all caught up on the most recent seasons.
Okay. All right.
You can talk though.
I'm not going to spoil anything about the seasons.
Please, there's no worries about that.
No, there's nothing to spoil. I mean, it would be fruitless to try to spoil, but it's the last couple seasons are pretty good scrapping in there, and then and also the spinoff Shoresy. I did that. I was in Texas for work and had time to kill in between the flight and some downtime back in the hotel room, so I knocked it out in basically a day. It was only like 6 episodes, but still.
They got some good chirping.
Yeah. Shoresy was funny because, before you just heard him, just chirping at the guys and, talking about Riley Jonesy's moms, and which was a lot of fun. But having him be the main person and deal with it, and he always did this thing like, well, I'll ask you a question and then you answer it. Hey, what's your sweatshirt say?
It's none
Huh?
of your business.
Huh?
What? It's none of your business.
What
Can't
kind of
you read?
headphones do you have? Hey, what kind of headphones do you have? Huh?
Dr. Dre.
Huh?
What?
He just, as soon as they'd answer the question, he would just start in with that, and everybody would get frustrated with him. So it was a lot of fun. Anyway,
That's fair. Oh, well, let's see here. All right, so Tin Cup is a straight rye mountain whiskey, 45% alcohol.
yeah, this was a subject last week. Also, we were watching something. I guess I was watching football yesterday with my youngest, and his commercial came on for there's a new dating show with farmers.
Oh yeah, you got it. Who doesn't want that?
It's she's watching The Bachelor. The show infuriates me, and I saw this commercial for the Bachelor one. For the farmer one, I started laughing because it's just like, all right, come on. And none of you look like any of the farmers that I know.
Well, of course not. Well, they just got a farm now for the show.
They're farming for something. Yeah, exactly, like Joe Dirt, but worse. Yeah, pretty much. Except, yeah. Anyway, all right, that's enough of that.
But I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we know Tin Cup is sourced. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
It has been crafted in honor of the rye recipes from 1850 that were enjoyed by the settlers and miners in Gunnison County. And it's distilled and aged for 3 years in Indiana, and then it's cut with Rocky Mountain water. So that's how it gets to be the mountain whiskey, as far for that goes. So that could be a little bit of the different flavoring there, if they do, but otherwise, yes, it would be an MGP product. Yeah. Oh, it's late for coming up on my thing right now. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay, here. Different nose on the last one. I mean, the other one's more bourbon, but this is a little earthier, or I don't know. It smells a little more important than some of the other MGP sourced products.
Yeah, it's got the lemony custard.
Yeah, I was getting more into that.
And then it's just like there's like tobacco leaf.
Yeah. Well, that's like tobacco leaf, and I was calling it like a tobacco leaf, kind of like a funk, but that's gone away on the second or third kind of inhale a little. Okay, no, down at the bottom, I get more of an earthy, little bit of a celery smell. It's like a cellar, not celery. At the top, though, if you go just at the top of the opening, I get like a milk chocolate. And that little more of a lemon, like a milk chocolate and lemon meringue. I'm just at the top of the glass rather than at the bottom. It's actually, for me, that doesn't happen too often where it's like, for me, that much difference.
Interesting.
Yeah, if I'm way down holding at the bottom, I'm getting more of like a barrel note and earthy wood. It doesn't jump out right away to me as being like straight MGP. You know how other ones you can get it kind of right away. So
must be that mountain spring water.
We'll find out here. She feels a little hot when not, but it stops and kind of damps down. Wow.
It's like pepper, caramel, vanilla.
Yeah, and there you get
boom,
like
boom, boom.
spearminty end. Like I'm getting a big minty thing going on right now. Mm.
I've discovered it's been taking me a minute to get like mint off of whiskeys and like some of the ryes. Like I'll get it when I come back to it, but I don't usually get it like right away.
Mm. Well, I don't know, Spencer. It's 3. There's a lot of other people with 3. Tin Cup has a bourbon as well too, though. This is the rye. This is the more recent release. I get what you're saying by watered down overall, and the flavor, like midway through, it doesn't feel like it kind of holds up to what you have at the end. Still has an okay finish. Let me go back. It's light in the front, but that's where I'm getting that lemony, light lemon, almost on the edge of lemon pledge, but not there. Lemon rind.
I was getting that, and then I stopped getting it, and then you know what I got the last two times on the finish after the sip? A very weak root beer float.
I don't know if I can get to that point right now. I'm getting a kind of like Aquafresh going on the sides of my tongue here.
Yeah, see, I'm just not.
Okay, I do. There's a little bit of root beer in there. You know, like, I mean, I think that's, for me, that's the most interesting note. Is that somewhere in the middle there's a little root beer that pops up, and it's sassafras spice, and then the finish is drying, fades away, but it's still drying. I think it's more drying in the length of it than I'm getting flavors.
That's a Texas size 10-4 there. So the rye, I don't dislike it. I don't find it interesting. I like for my ryes, I either want to get kind of slapped around a little bit, or I really want to have ryes that are so different that they break the mold of rye, and you're like, okay, you've got my curiosity and my attention, and you know, let's go for a ride. And this is it's and I don't mean to, I'm not trying to downplay or anything like that, but it's like it's a whiskey. It doesn't jump out to me as a rye. I think I'd have to search for that, but it's like it's a whiskey. You know, I'd be fine sipping it. It's like, oh yeah.
There's nothing wrong with sipping it. I would drink it over Bullet, even though that's the same pretense for things. But it, I don't know. Like, if it's only at 40, it's 45 right now. I would almost think you would at least need 6 or 7 points for me to see, like, what the barrel proof would be. That would be interesting, because that's just what it is. It's just the first half isn't as rich or layered as some of the other ryes like you're talking about. I think that would be an easy comparison. But for standard drinking, if you were going, you know, someone brought it to a party or came over with it, you know, I'd be totally fine with that. Not a problem whatsoever.
Yeah.
I've had other times where people brought stuff over and you had to have like a lecture about to not do that again, or what liquor store did you go to because they gave you horrible advice. Maybe we should have a show about that. Horrible liquor store stories.
Yeah.
And like ghost stories.
Bad whiskey advice.
Oh, is that intentional or not? Could be. All right, we got one left here. There. Just pipe down over there. Being all loud.
Why it's turning off my little heater.
All right, this one's the Traverse City Whiskey Company's straight bourbon whiskey, barrel proof, 5-year-old, 56.6%. It was a single barrel picked by the sellers, and I picked this one up at the Piggly Wiggly in Madison. Which I think is weird, but all of a sudden they have some really interesting picks at the Pig. Who would have thought? Somebody told my son to. That's good stuff, Kevin. Our good friend Kevin has his little aversions to the Dickel lineup. Hopefully that'll be changing. But if you ever do want to get him a sample, he'd love maybe a finished Dickel.
Well, I had one last sample bottle of the 60s Dickel. I gave it to Kevin, hoping to change his mind.
And?
So I'm waiting. I don't know. I'm assuming he hasn't had it yet. So I'm hoping that he will.
I'd like to see his reaction.
I would too.
I think that should be a show. Can you come on our show, Kevin, when you actually taste the 60s Dickel?
We'll just watch you.
We're just gonna watch. We'll just make him really large in the screen when he starts to sip on it.
Yeah.
All right, here. So,
First time I whiffed it, I got circus peanuts, and now I cannot get that to come back.
That's such a weird.
I know.
Like, that's such a weird, precise, like, sugary content smell for me, and I don't like it.
I do not like them. I do not. My dad ate circus peanuts. I don't like circus peanuts.
I don't. Come on, chat. How many out
They're
there like circus peanuts?
Bad marshmallows.
Like they've gone bad, like rotten, like they fall apart weird. It's just not right. Okay, right away it had a little bit more aggressive as smell, just like a minute or two in the glass here. Just kind of let go of that right off the bat. It does have actually, just swirling it now. Let me do that again here. Let's see if we can get up here. I got a light there, unfortunately. The legs on it are actually holding up pretty good before it kind of falls off. Legs don't stick, but like it clings to the glass and then kind of just all falls down at once, and there's a whole nother rim layer up at the top. It's like there's no legs.
I notice it does, but it's like it's like they're hanging on, and then they all just go and they just fall off.
I don't know if I've ever seen that before. That's like the weirdest thing.
So my experience with Traverse City, and I think last week I mentioned Traverse City, but I was wrong. I wasn't talking about Traverse City. I was talking about Watershed. It was a Watershed Nocino that I've got. But the only Traverse City that I've got is they have a cherry whiskey. I got it to use with Manhattans. And I liked it, and I liked using it in Manhattans until I got a hold of Leopold's maraschino liqueur and Michigan tart cherry. And then, oh my damn, that'll
for me is
that'll tear up your Manhattan real nice. Okay, I got kettle corn, orange, lemon, cherry. Boom, 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 boom. It's just like it hits, and then it's like a layer of vanilla that's just kind of hanging over there. It's
the vanilla I get, and it's a vanilla bean for me. That's actually a pretty strong now. I was getting like a little bit of like a hay note. That's gone now, though. That was more just on the first couple pulls. Excuse me. Yeah, you hit kind of those notes, cherry, milk chocolate for me. There's another little piece in there. That's kind of interesting. I was gonna say after I've given it like a minute in the glass to kind of open up and breathe, really kind of lets this one. Let's just kind of turn it up. All right.
I like this palette. I got like right off the bat, I got salted chocolate, cherry, and vanilla.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just like a layer that lays right across the tongue. And that proof, it's with 56%.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel like it at all.
For me, it doesn't feel like it, but it has like a layer where it lets. What I like about it is almost like going back to like a whiskey purist thing where you're actually tasting whiskey instead of all the flavored and finished and everything, stuff that people do to it. It's neat to just taste like a normal whiskey, and it has enough alcohol proof for me that it tastes like I'm drinking whiskey. Sometimes it's so so not there. You don't have you don't have a bite, you don't have anything there to it, or at least at this point I don't. That this I like there's it lets you know what's going on. It grabs your attention a little bit from the proof. It's not, like Mike said, it's not overpowering or anything, but it's enough to know that let you know what you're doing.
Can confirm. I like this.
It's not overpowering like you think. It's got like this
cola
and on the back end, cherry and
get into a lot of trouble with it.
And and just enough barrel edge on the sides and a little bit of heat here on the finish to let you know you were drinking whiskey, and to make me want to go back or get something else.
Yeah.
All right. And I'm more impressed with this the longer it goes with this one.
I'm digging this one a lot. And this was a single barrel pick for a local store.
Mm-hmm. It was done by the Cellars, and looks like oh my God, my eyes are so bad and it's so small. I think Minnetonka, but I can't see that. But I got it at the Piggly Wiggly in Madison, so they must have gotten part of whatever that was. They too also had some other stuff, but for this, all right, just going by, let's give a quick review of this, and then I want to get into how much you think this actually was.
Quick review. I dig it a lot. I like this whiskey. I like I'd like to. Based on this, I would definitely like to try more of their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, all I've had is the cherry whiskey, and then I noticed that they sell their cherries a lot. But I'm digging it.
Yeah, I was gonna say let me do this one more time here. Yeah. It's got a few things going on in there. A few different layers. That's the spicy note for me is kind of kicking up on the middle, the back end of it right now. Mm-hmm. Interesting enough to keep playing with it. You know what I mean? Like, it's got me thinking about stuff. I'm not going to say it's like my most favorite whiskey, but
no, but I like it. I like the flavor on it. I wish the proof the proof. I wish the finish was more. I wish that there was a little bit more of a lingering quality to it. I would either take more lingering flavor or lingering proof, one of the two. But there's not much of either, at least for me, on it. But I do like it.
For me, this one, I don't want to say it's not integrated, but this one's like, the flavors right up front, it's like a quick tap on the drums for me. It's got like it's like stuff's like popping up real quick. It's like you said, it's interesting. I enjoy it. It's got a cool. It's weird how all the flavor. Okay, it's weird how all the flavors kind of blend together and fade away. It's not like on the finish right now. It's not like I'm hitting any one of the flavors on the finish in particular. They kind of all happened, and then it all just kind of like morphed away, and I'm just left with just a little bit of heat and barrel note on the edge of my tongue.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah. I like it. I mean, I based on the proof alone, I was expecting a little bit more intensity.
Mm-hmm.
But it's actually, this would be a very, very dangerous one because it sips very easy.
Yeah. I was going to say
it's 56.6. You can get into a lot of trouble with this. It drinks very easy.
Yeah, definitely under. I'd say 45s. I mean, it does have, it doesn't taste horrible. Yeah. That's not bad.
I like it.
Oh, excuse me.
Wow.
Sorry. Yeah.
That was well brought up.
Yeah.
It's too bad you weren't.
Dad noises.
See, I'm just throwing all this, not everything Letterkenny, but we talk about Letterkenny at work. Like me and another guy will make comments, and a lot of people don't understand what we're talking about.
Especially you gotta have the right people there.
Well, that's true. Especially, when they walk in the room when you're talking about tackling a project and one of you goes, well, how are we going to fuck this pig? And then someone who doesn't know what's going on sees it and they're like, what? Yeah. Yeah, Tim. Need to sort yourself out? Yeah. Okay, so you want to guess how much this bottle was?
Yeah, take a guess.
I'm going to say it was $40.
That's a good one. It was not it and a rye from this place. They were, I don't know, they were like both 25. It was ridiculous.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a steal.
Like I waffled on the rye just because I was like, I don't know what's going on here. And I just grabbed it. Like you said, 40, 50 in today's market, totally fine, not a problem. But man, for what that was,
yeah.
I don't know what the hell was going on with. Yeah, there's some there's some steals at the pig. That's all I got to say. There's something else I got from there that was I don't want to call it underpriced, but I mean it was damn fine for what it was. So
yeah, nice.
Digging into some more stuff. Oh,
Dirty Dangles, boys.
It is.
I did make a blend, by the way.
Son of a bitch.
Because that's what we have to do.
It is, but I didn't do that. I last week took a small ride down to Appleton for a minute to do a little tasting for maybe a barrel pick that's coming out. We'll see what's going on.
Oh, really?
How about this? I gave my opinion, and I don't think it was different than anyone else's in the group. We picked two different companies. We found something we really, really liked, and there was one that we just said no to. Because sometimes you just gotta say no. But we'll see what happens there. There's some other. Oh, hey, hold on a second. I'll be right back.
Okay. Well, while he's gone. I know I talked about this last week. I'm curious, and just because it's a really funny show. Who has not watched Letterkenny, and also who's all caught up on it?
That's the wrong one.
Because it's a damn funny show.
All right, so we were the benefactor because not everything that they all everyone wants to get stuff. So we have. Oh, I might have to get the cheat sheet. Oh, Dragonfly is where these are. One's a wheat whiskey that's 6 years old, no toast in a French oak barrel. The other one is 7-year-old whiskey finished in Cabernet barrels. and the other one's a 5-year-old that they have, but that one's hazmat at 74.2.
Oh, mercy. Okay.
So we actually didn't taste any one of those per se because they were going with, they had a profile they wanted to go with I believe it was a malt one, and yeah, and keep it when that one comes up. If they go that route, keep an eye out because that one was tasty as heck. So those will be going out with a couple other ones. So we'll be having some other things to taste and go over and see what's going. I don't know. I'm excited about tasting. We'll have people on. I'm going to schedule people again, but I wanted to get through January at least where we start, doing some reviews and talking about tasting whiskey again. Don't want to say that was lacking, but it's hard to compress everything into a week, at least
Yeah.
So.
Plus, we'll eventually have another Mitch show at some point, right?
2 Mitch shows. I was gonna say you sent him some stuff that you were holding out on me during the last episode. I think he got that, and I got that.
Yeah.
And then I sent him samples of the Santa Fe spirits unsmoked and just the original smoked, because we went over a lot that night. It'd be nice to just have a quick comparison between those two. And I want to see his thoughts on the difference. It's not the same as like the cask strength, but I mean, it is that baseline for that is a big difference, more than what I would have thought. Okay, what are you blending? I see your nose.
I did the equal parts of all 3 of them, but the noses, it's weird because it kind of noses like it's finished.
Yeah.
And I think it's the rye that's doing it. I think it's the Tin Cup rye. It's like bringing out a lot of floral.
More than I would have thought.
Yeah.
Where I was saying hay on a couple of them tonight, it's more like a field now. Fall. Or more like Augusty. Where it's hot. I don't know. It's like you said, there's more floral, there's more going on to it. It's less hay, it's more of a field for me now. Damn it. Sorry, folks.
Man, you're a degen. Drinks like a wine finish. For me.
Yeah, it's like that spicy. I'm not good with, I'm going to say a Syrah, but I don't know wines for shit. So it has, no, thank you, Mike. I don't know. It's got like the spicy wine finish almost.
Hey, who's got a problem with the Canada Goose? You got a problem with me.
It piped down. See, Jeb. Did they teach you that? Did they teach you that in CJEB? Fucking pipe down. I don't know about the blend.
I don't either, because it's a white wine finish.
Yeah, I don't know. No, I'm not a fan of the blend. It was again not bad, just not. Yeah, I know. Nope. It is not great. The finish.
It's made by the Mennonites. Fuck, can they run?
I almost went down a path I can't go down. No.
Yeah, because our standards are so high.
Yeah, well, sometime when you lose, you have to go on the hunt for some dicks.
That's right.
Always been stand-up dicks. Always been stand-up people.
Thine wife has been limp with sadness. You don't want to have a limp dick.
Chastity and charity. They went out on Rumspringer. They haven't come back. Oh, no. It tastes like a white wine finish with something weird and spicy in the middle of it. The blend is not healthy. I'm not a fan of that. Ugh. Sorry. You don't get that noise from me very much, but the blend was not healthy. Not better than all the parts. So, so congratulations to your Kansas City Chiefs and their winning of
I had nothing to do with it, but yeah,
Super
okay.
Globe.
It was an interesting game. I didn't think they would win before the game. And then of course as soon as it was over, there was tons of fireworks around me and gunshots. It took a while for the gunshots, and then all of a sudden, it's my youngest and I were sitting on the couch and had the dogs. Dogs do not like fireworks at all, and I did not think to give them some doggy downers before the game because I didn't think I wasn't expecting them to pull it out, but then the fireworks go off, and then there's a little lull that all of a sudden you hear crack, 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 real quick. It's like that's not fireworks. And then again, like, okay. I said, just turn the TV up and let's see what happens. And then they went on for a while, but not too bad. But yeah. Anyway.
No, that's fair.
People got to light off fireworks. That's fine. I mean, it's fine. The town will be a buzz. I grew up a Steelers fan, but I've been here now more than half my life. So I do enjoy the Chiefs, but
well,
I'd be more excited if the Steelers won.
It was on the 4th of July, I think, at the new house. I think I might have been one of only like 2 people on the block that was lighting stuff off. So I was the asshole on the block. But there were 2 other people that we didn't even know that like came down from other houses to be like, hey, can we light off fireworks by you? We're like, yeah, go ahead. Like, I didn't know if I had crossed some like weird housing association bullshit. Yeah, well, we only had 2 things that landed on someone's roof. It was the parachute guys. You can't bitch about that.
Until they get stuck in your gutter, and then you got other problems.
No, I mean like they went up and the parachute was on flames when they're coming down. It was pretty great. Sorry.
we when I was in Iowa, living in Iowa, we let off fireworks, and we had a standing kind of a fireworks contest between my dad and the neighbor across the street. But across the street was a good 100 yards difference because it was a parking lot across the street and then a house behind this parking lot. So we would now fireworks were illegal allegedly in Iowa, but if you drove down to Eagleville, Missouri late at night like we did, especially in my dad's 71 Super Bee doing 100 miles an hour, you could make the trip really quick. So we would go and try to get things that would travel the distance to the neighbor's front yard, and Ken would try to get stuff. So we would all just be going back and forth and back and forth. Anyway, we had been shooting back and forth with them. We had some big bottle rockets. One of them went up, got squirrely, and went up and like straight down the chimney of the house next door to us, which the people had left town. Like they grabbed their stuff and they left town. So this house was sitting empty. It was like, this isn't good. And then we waited and we started to see some smoke come up from the chimney. So my dad got the fire hose, got the garden hose, and he's trying to squirt up there and get it to go all the way up in there. Well, the neighbor used to either lock himself out of the house or his wife used to lock him out of the house. Probably a mixture of both. He used to have to break in through the basement, and I knew how he would get into the house. So I went in the house to go check out the fireplace. Well, there was a whole bunch of tinder in that fireplace when they left town, and that bottle rocket nailed it, and it stuff started going. So we had to put it out. Anyway, it was.
Sorry, that's great. What are the fucking chances of that?
They were none the wiser, but yeah.
Sorry. I love when life is like that. Hey, it's a 1 in a million. Yeah, it
Yeah.
fucking happened. And then it started to smoke. This is bullshit.
Yeah. Tim, you want to know how many there are? Give me 1, give me 2, give me 2, give me 3, give me 3, give me 4, 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 give me 5. How about a 5? Got 5 and a 6. Anyway, it's about as good as I can get.
All right. We're rolling up on an hour. We hit all 3 whiskeys in a blend. I think we're good for this evening.
All 3 in a blend.
All 3 in a blend. So I think we got, like I said, we're going to try to hit 1 or 2 more shows here with Mitch. We got him, and we got a couple other reviews we're going to do. But we do have some people that we're working on. Let's be honest, I was taking a break in January. Needed a little bit of a slowdown for a month in the midst of everything. So
Your own personal dry January.
Yeah. What is that? I'm getting sick of all this. Don't do this month. Don't do that month. Like, I vaguely get it, but at the same time, you know, I don't know. I'm sick of these sports.
I got a couple of friends who did it, and they were doing really good. One of them, he texted me this weekend, and he said he broke it. Well, one of them broke it at the Chiefs Jaguars game because he had a beer after the game, and he's like, no, this is like Sunday in Lent. You know, you get a free pass. And then so this other guy, he sends he sends a picture or he sent me a text, and he said he got his early prize for dry January, even though he broke it. His wife got him a Highland Park Vikings honor.
Mm-hmm.
But then he said, had he made it all of dry January, she had gotten him a Highland Park 18. And so she took it back.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. Oh, she took it back. All right. Okay. I like this lady because she has
no, she's cool. So he's got his Highland Park, and I said, I've got an old bottling Highland Park 12 and a couple of old samples. So we're going to get together this week and have a Highland Park night. So
nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Mike, for coming, hanging out with me this evening. I had a good time tasting these. I'm going to say Traverse City for me was probably the most interesting. I don't know. Stolen Wolf was fun, but it was, like you said, it was, like I said, not entry, but I mean, it didn't have as much powerful flavors in it. That's all.
No, it was definitely a good one to start with.
Yes. Very, very true.
The rye probably could have started with that also, even with those rye notes, but not rye notes.
Whoa, what the hell was that? Sorry, my computer just popped up something about Martin Luther King Day, and I don't know where the hell that came from.
Well, that was a while ago. Hate to tell you.
I don't know what to tell you. My computer did weird things. So, that's right. You're in charge of everything. My computer's not giving me the slow.
Oh,
walk.
you can't flash screen on there, so we didn't do our advertisements.
Oh, you want to advertise? You can do advertising if you want.
I mean, it's a little late for advertising, but I guess coming up to Bar Cart Co-op, I'm assuming Chip Tate #2 is coming up pretty soon. For Distillers Talk, the Bourbon Turntable had that 2-parter with Pat Heist, which was pretty good. It was pretty good music talk on that one. I can't remember who is this week, but I do know that upcoming on Bourbon Turntable is the lovely and talented Todd Leopold.
Mm-hmm.
So the music conversation on that's going to be really good. Yeah. So
I saw that one. That one's going to be interesting. I was like,
yes,
like his viewpoints and stuff, and it'd be interesting to see because he's got a little bit different, more of a lifespan to pick different songs or genres that I think he might be attached to, and I think that'll be cool.
Yeah. Well, when there's a jukebox, you're in charge of it.
Yeah. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, you guys have a good night. Or wait, should I do this? I don't want to drink that combination. That was not good. Here, let me find something else.
I actually poured the last of the 10-cup rye, so I can reclaim it.
Yeah. All right. Remember, it's not the size of the den that matters. It's the love of whiskey. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.